Hello, everybody. Okay, so I need to send in some components for my ancient CRT projector that I need to have not really repaired, but upgraded as far as like replacing capacitors and some other things like that. So before I do that, I wanted to go through and record for posterity all of the settings and stuff from the system, just in case the worst happens and I have to set it up from scratch. So just for a little background, what we're looking at is what's called a Sony G90 CRT projector. So this was some of the original marketing material from it. Um, this dates to before the turn of the century, but the one I have was manufactured right around 2000. I think it was October of 2000 from the production label that's inside. And these are like ancient dinosaur pieces of technology. Um, you know, a lot has gone on and improved in terms of digital projectors and home theater stuff and all that kind of thing. But the reality is, if you have one of these and it's set up properly, the image that it produces really continues to be second to none as far as contrast level, color accuracy, stuff like that. Um, it is a monster though. It's like 350 pounds. Is like a fixture in my room. And it's no joke as far as like the setup and configuration. It's funny because in here I think there's a place where it says that it's like easy, yeah, simple installation and adjustments. Simple installation and adjustments. This is the service manual for it, as far as like all the things that you need to be aware of and how to calibrate it and all the parts list, component pieces, boards, circuit diagrams. Um, It's pretty amazing. And as far as like old school technology, this really was the state of the art as far as video projection systems. This unit was never intended to be like a consumer home unit. It was, for commercial simulators and um, industrial applications and stuff like that. So in my theater, these pictures are ancient. This is from, maybe 12 or 13 years ago when we first moved into this house and I set it up for the very first time. So this gives you a little bit of the sense of the space that I'm in. Um, this is my studio in the second story of our home. My driving rig is set up over here. So when I'm over here right now, that's this corner of the room. But the projector itself lives under this coffee table. So there's three 9-inch CRT tubes. Each one can scan to about 2K resolution, but the way I have mine set up, it's specifically dialed in for 1080p. This is the projection screen surface that we use. It's 168 inches on the diagonal, so that's 11 feet. Um, it's pretty big. So if you had 42-inch televisions, you could put 16 of them in a 4x4 matrix and it would be the same surface area. So that's the projector from a different view, the whole room and stuff. So this is like a little SketchUp diagram that I did. Like I said, when I'm doing my sim racing and stuff, I use this little area of the room over here. The computer that I use for the sim racing is over here, so it's on the other side of the screen area from me. And it's nice because it can be over there and make as much heat and noise as it wants, and I don't have to listen to it all the way over here. All the other computers and audio video equipment and stuff is in this separate room. So it's all totally put away. But to get the computer in there and get to over here, it's about a 40-foot, most of the computers over here, it's about a 40-foot cable run. So I had that distance solved for HDMI and USB when I was using like the Oculus and the HTC Vive. But switching to the Pimax and DisplayPort, there really was no way to get the um, signal reliably relayed at that distance. I tried all kinds of fancy optical cables and stuff like that, but anyway, so that's what we're looking at today. Like I said, I need to send some of the components off to get repaired, upgraded, and I wanted to go through and just for posterity record all of the settings in the system. So we look down, this is what we've got. That's the screen off of another webcam. And just to give you a sense of the scale, this is what we're really talking about. So I'm 6'2", and it's just about that big.
Starving said, "You gonna use that for racing?"
I did use that for racing. For VR, the best immersion that I had was using a 720p DLP projector that would do 120 hertz and running the 3D vision stereoscopic stuff from NVIDIA. I'd put my little play seat out in front of the projector space, and it would be pretty much filling my peripheral vision, and the stereoscopic was probably the best immersion situation for VR. So, and I don't know, Starving, if you just got here or not, but this is what I'm looking at. This is a Sony G90 projector. It's ancient, but it really does, even to this day, produce an image that's more like film than pretty much anything as far as at least consumer level digital projector. The 3 CRT tubes are each 9 inches across, and the actual electron beam scanning and stuff will go to.
Does it cost $50,000?
Well, it did. And when it was new, I think the MSRP was at least $20,000, if not more. They weren't consumer products. They were for commercial simulators and industrial applications and stuff like that. So the one I have was manufactured in October of 2000. So it looks like these are ancient pictures, pretty much 12 or 13 years old from right when we moved into this property. So this is the, sort of a attempt at a panorama view of the projector screen and stuff. My sim rig is over here in this corner, so that's where I am today. But yeah, it's no joke as far as the size of the screen is 168 inches diagonally. It's 11 feet. The projector itself lives under this coffee table. It's 350 pounds. And as far as like the optical setup, the electromagnetic focus, getting all the registration done, for quite some time, it was sort of like a hobby, just getting it dialed in and set up. But the image that it produces is much more like a film than what you're accustomed to. We also have like other digital projectors and stuff that we use on the same projection surface for computers and video games and stuff like that. But if we're going to watch a movie, the old school CRT is definitely the tool for the job. So this is where I sit for my sim racing stuff, over in this little corner. That's where I am right now. And the computer for my sim rig lives over here. So it's got like a 11, 12-foot cable run, which seems fine for all the stuff that I use now. All the other computers live in this little room that's off to the side, and I can close the door and they can make all the heat and noise they want. And it's totally isolated. But to put the computer that I use in there would be like a 40-foot cable.
Looks like cinema room which Kanye West or something would have, lol.
Yeah, no, I don't want to brag or anything, but it's pretty world class as far as the way things are set up. So I need to send in a couple of the boards on the projector to a friend of mine who's going to replace capacitors and stuff for me. It's the BA board. Let's see if I can find it. So it's this little board. We're going to take it out from the projector. Wonder if there's a circuit diagram for it. But anyway, my goal for this stream, and I'm probably being a little bit long-winded in terms of getting there, is to go through all of the configuration settings and stuff, just in case the worst happens and I need to reset everything from scratch. For posterity, I wanted to make a video where I would have recorded all of the settings and stuff. So that's what I'm doing. So that's the projection surface. Power stuff up.
Starving, said, how long does it heat up?
From when you first turn it on, it can take maybe 20 minutes or so before it's like at regular operating temperature. But it also, I mean, like anything like that, it is mostly analog electronics. So, you know, during the summertime, it gets to operating temperature much quicker and actually runs a little hotter than normal. During the wintertime, it can take 45 minutes or so. But it powers up and it works, you know, right away. So let me turn the lights down. So I know that this is not going to be anything that anybody really wants to watch, and I'm really just making this stream for me because I want to, you know, download it and archive it just for the sake of having all the stuff documented. But see how it looks. Yeah, that looks perfectly clear. So my goal was to like have the screen available, walk through all the settings and stuff like that. Right now, I do have the contrast way down, just because I don't want to have, you know, any issues as far as accidentally burning a test pattern into the tubes or anything. Because that is something you still do have to worry about a little bit as far as like CRT wear. So normally I run it around 72 to 75 on the contrast. Actually, let's take a quick tour of some content. So I know that, I mean, there's no way that a video of a video is going to be interesting to anybody, but
Patrick, wait, do you need enough for what? Oh, the workshop. Like, I want. Yeah, you want. They can't even fly. Yeah, but it won't let me do it. Skeletor right behind. And it took actually from me.
It's interesting how the web, it's not flickering like that. It must be like the, frame rate differential on the webcam. Wow, that's interesting because it doesn't flicker anything. Interesting. Turning the lights up a little bit.
Starving said, MBY webcam auto adjust all time for the light amount.
Yeah, I think that could be part of it. But yeah, trust me,
Starving
it looks good.
said, because when you have light on, it's smooth.
Yeah, I think it is the webcam trying to like auto calibrate and contrast ratio and stuff like that. Trust me, in person, it looks amazing. Okay, but I can just use this test pattern to show what I need to see. I think running around contrast 40 is perfectly fine, especially if I turn the lights back off. Okay, so okay, yeah, I just set it up so I have a different view on the stream PC, which is good. So, okay, so yeah, I know this is not going to be interesting. So if you want to take off starving, I totally understand. But we're going to go through everything. So like I said, usually I run the contrast around 70 to 75. Picture setting, pretty much all of these don't really pertain anymore. Color temperature, obviously. Clamp HC is for the synchronization. In the old days when these were built, RGB HV was really the only signal that was, pertinent as far as the resolutions and stuff. But I have a HDMI input card. It was built by this crazy guy in Taiwan named Mumi. And so all these settings as far as like the interface card and stuff are sort of superfluous. But let me go in here and see if there is anything. Yeah, so it's set to just be RGB. Set settings, input info, set info. So the serial number's been wiped because I have reset the, done like a hardware reset before. And that's it. Usually if you're just using it as a user, this is the extent of the menus that you get. There's really not a whole lot that end users are supposed to change. But if we do like the Konami code for it, enter, enter, up, down, enter, you get to go into the service mode. So yes, I wish to go into the service mode. And now when we go into the settings and stuff, you see the little S above the menu. That shows that we're in service mode. So we have all the same ones that we had before. But now the set info tells us more about the software version. And then we get more options and stuff. It's funny. It has this all white mode, which by default burns for like 20 minutes when you turn it on. So the intention when they set these up was that you would turn it on and it would show an all white screen for 20 minutes to warm everything up. But that's like burning tremendous amounts of phosphor off the tubes every time you use it for no real gain. These picture orbiting and scanline shift options are to try and like move the image very slightly to avoid getting any burn in and stuff. But it also obviously shifts it on the screen surface. So the way ours is set up, it's not really a good idea because it goes off the edge of the screen and stuff. It's got 1,040 hours on the tubes and stuff. Uniformity. These are kind of cheating. They like create elliptical patterns that try and boost the uniformity around the edges and stuff. It looks nice, but if you know what it's doing, it's kind of unfortunate, so I try not to use that. Okay, so those are all of the user settings. I want to check one more thing on the input. Yep. Okay.
Oh my god, and a bat killed.
So as far as checking the high level stuff, all the registration. So if I switch, there's like a way to do the pattern. What we're seeing on the screen now are little test generation things that it uses, but we can use this as the test pattern from the Blu-ray player, but it's still showing us our values. So I'm just going to go through all of the registration stuff for each color first. So we're looking at green now. That's the coarse value. That's the fine value. You do center and then size and then linearity. And typically when I'm setting this up, I'll use the digital projector to broadcast the same grid pattern and set the CRT's registration to match that as closely as possible. So you set the center and then you set the size so that the edges are about the right angle or distance apart. And then the linearity sort of shifts that left to right. So if there's any error, what my approach is you set it so that it is the compromise value that sort of splits the difference. And then you expand it and then go back. In this case, you sort of go between size and linearity. And with each time you find the values that are on all one side, then all the other side, and then you split the difference mathematically, just as far as the numbers to get it to go into what you need. Skew is like the angle horizontally. Bow is bow as far as like whether it's a straight line or it bows to the left or bows to the right. And it's the same sort of thing. You sort of use bow and skew to keep iterating to find where it, reaches diminishing returns in terms of adjustment. Key is keystoning, so it's like a whole screen angle. Pin is just like bow, but it's on the 3D. And then you can have zone values for everything. So once you've done the registration for all 3 colors as far as those coarse values, you can then go through, and it's got, I forget, 20 some positions. So you go through and adjust each of these zones. And I'm pretty sure I have green set to be 128 for everything. Yep, so it looks like there's 25 positions. And for each one, there's a coarse and a fine value so that you get it so that it's close with the coarse, and then the fine is just a little bit off. Okay, so that was green for everything. Now we're going to do red. Actually, I can shut off the others to see if it comes through clearly. Yeah, so just looking at red. Center, coarse and fine. Size, linearity, skew, bow, keystone. Ooh, were there positions? So top, bottom, left, and right for red. Let's go back to green for a second. So adjusting green, top, bottom, left, right, and all. Okay, so top, bottom, left, right, all. Okay, so green has all, and I think the constituent colors just have top, bottom, left, right. Top, bottom, left, right, and no all. So you adjust it to match the green. Okay, so that's key. That's pin. Again, top, bottom, left, right. Top, bottom, left, right. Let's take a look at the green that I missed. So that's got all top, bottom, left, right, all. Okay, and then zone for red. Position 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay, so that's the zone for red. If we look at blue, see how blue shows up okay on the stream. Okay, so coarse adjust for center for blue. Size, linearity, skew, bow. Okay, so it's key. Position 1, top, bottom, left, right. So top, bottom, left, right. For keystone, for pin cushion, top, bottom, left, right. For pin and zone.
Yeah, I'm staying up a little higher now. god.
Okay. So now I'm going to do green one more time, but just on its own channel and get everything. So green.
Damn it, each time I fire my explosive.
Coarse and fine. Center, size, linearity, skew, bow, keystone, all, top, bottom, left, right, all. Okay. And then zone.
Yeah, I have definitely guessed.
Okay, so that's everything for the registration. Just to go through everything, blanking. Currently have it set like that.
Wait, how do I type the damn?
Tapout_31 said, so we setting up the targeting computer from the X-Wing?
Pretty much. Welcome, Tapout31. Yeah, what I'm doing is going through all the settings for my really old CRT projector. We've just gone through all the registration stuff, but I also it's critical to get all the focus stuff. And I'm not sure I remember how to get there.
Then it comes up 9 and like.
Okay, well, it's good that I've got the service manual right here. Oops. Noob streamer.
Oh, my Catacombs XP is matched with my Archer XP.
So yeah, this is the projector we're working with. It's ancient. But what I want to do is set up the electromagnetic focus.
Wait, what floors are we doing? 6? I haven't done 5.
So I thought that was what it was. MG focus key.
Wait, I can't remember what boss is this game. Oh, no, it's the boss.
Oh, okay. That one's a different button. Yep, that's what we got. Okay. All is well. So these are, and it's crazy because when you focus this, you're actually adjusting the way the electron beam is shaped as it scans across the. So what you do is you adjust it first so that you get little ellipses, and you try and squish them into a circle with the ADQ or AQP adjustment, and then the DQP takes that and makes it into like a trapezoid or a triangle. So the ultimate goal is to get as solid and round and tightly focused a circle as you can get. So these are their little helpful diagrams in the documentation. And you do this for various positions, and then it sort of interpolates between them as it scans through. So okay, so that was all position 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1. So that's all for green. Let's do red. All and blue. Okay, so that's registration and focus. We're now going to take a look at like the bias and gain for grayscale. Start with green.
Oh, hi guys.
So it looks like I've got the fines all set to 128. Coarse. So bias sets your low light, and gain is your contrast. So sort of like brightness and contrast.
Yeah, I know, it's weird.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
I think that's pretty much it that I wanted to go through. Okay.
Oh god, okay. It's nice. I get spawned. I get respawned. I get respawned on Elliot, and then a skiller.
Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I know that probably was not the most entertaining stream for anybody else, but my goal was to sort of set all the settings down for posterity and make it so that if the worst happens and I lose all my settings, I've at least got a video backup of the way everything is. While I'm here, let me just go through what's in the Blu-ray configuration as well. So this is a Oppo BDP 105. What's important is the video HDMI output stuff. So it's interesting. It has two HDMI outputs. One of them I have set that goes directly to the CRT projector with no audio on it at all. And the other one goes to my audio video preamp. And that does get the HDMI audio and stuff. So you can actually set those separately as far as the HDMI configuration. So they're both running at 422 YCB CR. I have tried to take the Pepsi challenge and convince myself whether I can see any difference with these different bit depths, but it all looks the same to me. You get more options on the HDMI 1. The HDMI 2 only gives you 36 or 30, so you don't get like the dithering mode options. And that's it. So these are the options that you've got. I kind of do, and I've experimented with the CRT. I think it does look fine with 422. For a while, I was running it at the RGB PC level, I'm pretty sure, and that's like the 0 to 255. The video level, I think, is 15 to 250 or 245, or I forget what the range is, but it's a compressed color space. So right now we're just doing the 422, and that's consistent with the way that it's set up for the other projector. And like that. I don't think there's anything else in here that's super critical as far as trying to Save. And it's interesting how the webcam really does pick up on a flicker, because it's not flickering in at least what I can perceive. Okay, well, that's what I wanted to do. So thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy, drive safe, and I will see you later. Bye-bye. BitGirl end stream.